But the Edwards three-door Fisherman's Co-op is breathing easier today with the commissioning Saturday of a new wharf and shed for members using the facilities of the co-op. The new wharf and shed is a fulfillment of a commitment made to the co-op, as in the case with co-ops across the country, by President Dr. Irfan Ali. That is, to upgrade infrastructure at landing sites used by fisherfolks. The new wharf and shed at the Edward was constructed at a cost of approximately $110 million. Other upgrades at that facility included a new tarmac and sanitary facilities. Speaking at the commissioning exercise, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa said the PPPC government, upon assuming office, recognized the importance of fisherfolk and actively prioritized improving working conditions via the Fisheries Landing Site Enhancement Project.
The fishing industry provides the cheapest form of proteins for our people. It engages over 15,000 people, Guyanese, who earn their living directly from the fishing industry. And as I said, there are thousands of other persons who are earning their living indirectly. And that is when you earn and the money circulate in your community. The people in the shops, the market, the other services being provided in the community, they are indirectly benefiting from your earnings. So when we develop these facilities, we are not only doing it for you, the fisher folks. We know that you have been risking your lives to the elements, be it the sun, the rain, but more importantly, you have been risking your life to the rough Atlantic to provide that form of proteins for the Guyanese people. And as a government, we recognize your role. That is why over the last 4 years, especially over the last 2 years, we are in the process of developing over 100 landing sites across this country. Places where people used to land before never had proper roads, never had sheds, never had storage facility, never had landing where people can come up with your catches, never had lights, never had washrooms, all those things. Over 100 sites across this country. We have enhanced and developed to a standard where those sites now are enjoying those facilities I just spoke of. So we recognize the importance of the fishing industry in this country. That is why we will continue to make budgetary allocation and make investment in this important industry. As I said, just over the last 4 years, we have seen massive transformation taking place in our country.
In the 2025 budget laid in the National Assembly Friday, $1.3 billion was allocated to the fisheries subsector. According to Minister Mustafa, the 2025 budget will mean continued transformation of all sectors of the country, including the agriculture sector, including for those involved in the fisheries sector.
As I said, yesterday's presentation of the budget, 2025 budget, we will see massive transformation. And what we have seen in the agriculture sector, we have not only seen development taking place in the traditional areas, like rice, sugar, livestock. We have seen massive transformation taking place in the agriculture sector. The Minister of Finance announced yesterday in Parliament that the country's GDP grew by 43% last year. Out of the 43% growth that we had last year, the non-oil economy contributed 13% of that growth rate. And more importantly for us, out of that 13% coming out from the non-oil sector, agriculture contributed 11% to our country's growth. And you, the fisher folks, because fishing, last year we see a growth in the fishing industry. You would have contributed to that. And that is why we are enhancing and working to enhancing these sites and working with you all to ensure you have proper facilities. Over the last 2 years, we have been working very closely with the fisher folks across our country, not only to develop and enhance fishing sites across the country, but we have been purchasing also safety gears. We have been working with international organizations to implement best practices. We have been purchasing tracking devices so that we can place it on vessels going out into the ocean so that we can track these vessels. We have been working with various stakeholders across the country and in the region to reduce the incidence of piracy. We know for a fact that that was one of a serious problem prior to 2020. We have worked over the years to reduce piracy so that at least the fishermen or the fisher folks who are risking their life already to the elements out there, they should at least be safe from piracy. In this year's budget, we see a large sum again allocated to the fishing sector. And this is the kind of commitment, a government that has your interests at heart. This is the kind of commitment we are making.
The Agriculture Minister also indicated that there will be further upgrades done at the three-door sluice landing site, but called for unity amongst the members of the co-op.
And I want to also tell you that seeing that this new shed has been built here with the WHARF there, we should not be negative. We should always be positive. And I also instructed the MMA who have been executing this project that the shed over there will be rehabilitated during the course of the new month. So you'll have a shed there too. You can't do everything one time and put you all in inconvenience. You have to plan. You have to have a vision. And if we would have done that, to build that shed first, you wouldn't have nowhere to go. That is why we constructed this one here, and then we'll rehabilitate that one. You'll have both facilities to your benefit, to improve your life, to ensure you have better facilities to ply your trade in the Atlantic. That's a part of commitment. That's a part of vision. And that's a commitment for your government, the PPP civic government.
The new wharf will be available to allow for boat landings at different tide heights and allow for safe unloading of catches. Minister Mustafa cut the ceremonial ribbon, officially signaling the commissioning of the new facility.